Okay, here are 5 reasons you should be writing an essay right now. With all that's been happening, I've been thinking about pedagogy and why it is that professors and teachers ask students to write essays. It can seem unimportant or irrelevant, but I promise you it's not. Here's reason number 1. Consider Michel de Montaigne. This guy is the reason we have essays to begin with. At some point in his life, he decided to try to explain and assess how the world worked, and he titled these attempts essay, which in French, essayer means to try, and that's why we have essays. Some of these essays were even written during the plague. Think about that. This guy, seeing the world go mad, decides to attempt to figure out how and why the world works. If he can do it during the plague, you can do it too. Reason number 2, consider how much better the world would be if people put the time and effort into making logical, well-supported arguments rather than talking out of their asses. We see this all the time, everywhere. People say words without any consideration of what they mean, how they fit into an argument. Imagine if even 1% of the world changed and moved towards articulating well-supported, reasoned arguments. Imagine how much better the world would be. You can contribute to that. Reason number 3, you develop a much better bullshit detector. If you're thinking about constructing arguments, you're also thinking about how to read and assess other people's arguments. When these snake oil salesmen come to you offering opportunities or offering advice that doesn't make sense, you'll be much better equipped to detect that and to call them on it rather than falling for it. Reason number 4, culture doesn't come necessarily as a handed down thing. Culture, in some respects, like if you think about farming, comes from cultivating crops, cultivating livestock. You should cultivate yourself. Grow spiritually, intellectually, as well as physically as you develop. And despite what standardized education has been doing, making people feel like they're checking off boxes or filling in taxes, essays, when you think back about Michel de Montaigne, they're really about developing yourself and growing as a human being. Finally, think about the alternative. Yes, the alternative is to not write essays, but what does that mean? It means not trying to understand and articulate how the world works, not developing skills that will help society, not being able to detect bullshit, and not growing as an individual and as part of a society and a culture. Write an essay right now, regardless of what your professor or teacher says, because it will help the world. And if you don't believe that, don't write a fucking essay. Those are my 5 reasons why you should write an essay right now.